Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. On today's episode of the Prime, we're going to be breaking down the 2025 Elimination Chamber because this is On Point Wrestling Entertainment. I'm, of course, your host, David On Point Huffman. You can catch us on YouTube, Facebook, the Twitter. You can also find us on your on the Huddle Sports Network on all your Roku-enabled devices. If you like what we're doing here at Prime Sports World, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast as we're coming up to a very busy time here for Prime Sports World. As we tomorrow, we're going to do a recap of the Elimination Chamber. We're also going to give you our NFC North offseason preview, along with finish off the rest of the NFL with offseason previews next week, leading up into the start of free agency in the National Football League. So you don't want to miss any of that content. So please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. I'm, of course, your host, David On Point Huffman. We're here to talk about wrestling, professional wrestling. We're here to talk about the Elimination Chamber. Low-key, this is one of my favorite pay-per-views of the entire year. I still remember back to, it must have been like 10 years ago now almost, when Bray Wyatt won this Elimination Chamber, and he won his first WWE title with that cult leader character. And then, he had that whole feud with Randy Orton leading up to WrestleMania after Randy Orton won the Rumble that year. I just love the Elimination Chamber. I love the pods. I love the concept of it. I just think it's one of the most fun, versatile pay-per-views that WWE puts on every single year. It's good stuff. And we are going to be in for some doozy of some matches. Let's get into it proper. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Elimination Chamber card. Let's start with the women's side of things, and let's talk about the women's Elimination Chamber. We got Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, and Roxanne Perez going into the Elimination Chamber. I don't know if they've announced who's going to be the starting two. Normally, I think they have a match like the night before on SmackDown. I don't think they did that this year. So I'm not sure on either side. So I don't know who the starting two people are going to be in the Elimination Chamber. But yeah, we got Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair. We got some stars of stars. I mean, both of these two Chambers matches are absolutely loaded with talent, top flight, top end talent. And yeah, I'm going to put out my full predictions blog here shortly after this episode continues. But I think that I think, in my opinion, that hold on a sec, sorry. I usually have a co-host on these kind of shows, but not today. Just give me a second, sorry. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. I think that this should be an opportunity. So you had kind of Charlotte Flair as like the end-all, be-all, final boss character in WWE win the Royal Rumble. I think you have the opportunity here at the Elimination Chamber. If you wanted to create or elevate a wrestler and create a new star, I think this is the opportunity to do it. I'm going to take Roxanne Perez as winning the Elimination Chamber. And I know that might be a hot take, and that might be a bit of a controversial pick. But I think what her stuff that she's done in since she's been called up to the main roster has been awesome. And she was the Iron Woman in the Royal Rumble. But if you want to elevate her status, she doesn't have to necessarily beat Rhea Ripley. But the fact that she'll be in a match with Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania automatically elevates her status within WWE. You can make her a true main eventer coming out of the other side. And I think if you wanted to elevate somebody, a talent, I mean, Liv Morgan doesn't need it. Bianca Belair doesn't need it. Alexa Bliss doesn't need it. Bayley doesn't need it. And I just don't think Naomi is really on the level of the other four women in this match. So if you wanted to really elevate it to somebody, you wanted to elevate somebody and put them on a different kind of tier, Roxanne Perez would be the option for me. I think that she has been awesome on the main roster. I think her character is super fun. I think her character is super exciting. I think people are resonate around her. I think the crowd can get behind her as well. The only other person that I think has a legitimate claim to maybe winning this match is Alexa Bliss. I think her versus Rhea Ripley is a must-see money match that many people have kind of fantasy booked for a while, is like something we could like to see. Rhea Ripley, the powerhouse, going up against Alexa Bliss, kind of the speed character there in Alexa Bliss, kind of old school versus new school to a certain degree. But I mean, they've loaded up this Elimination Chamber card very much like the men's match. Where I mean, if Liv Morgan ended up with this victory, I wouldn't be upset. Bianca Belair wouldn't be upset. Even Bayley, I wouldn't be upset about. Alexa Bliss, I do struggle a little bit to figure out where these women go if whoever doesn't win the Elimination Chamber. Like I think you could do Liv Morgan and Raquel Gonzalez, who have currently have the women's tag team titles. I think you could do Alexa Bliss for Nikki Cross. If you couldn't put Alexa Bliss into the Wyatt Six, I think you could put them in the tag team scene. Bianca Belair and Naomi, I think that implosion is coming, given the Jade Cargill stuff. I'm not sure what you do with Bayley if she doesn't win the Elimination Chamber, especially in this world where Roxanne Perez wins the Elimination Chamber, because a lot of people have it booked that Bayley and Roxanne Perez would have a match at WrestleMania. But if Roxanne Perez wins the Elimination Chamber, I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. So I'm not sure what you do with Bayley exactly at WrestleMania. I think she deserves to have a match. She was the one that won the title off of Io Sky last year. So I guess we'll see how that ends up playing out. But as of right now, my prediction for who I think is going to win the Elimination Chamber is Roxanne Perez. And if you want to go down in the comments section and let me know how wrong I am about that prediction, go ahead and down in the comments section, let me know what your opinion is on that particular match when it comes to when it comes to the women's Elimination Chamber. I'm going Roxanne Perez. From there, we got a women's tag team match. This does not involve a title. We have Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus going up against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus are winning this match fairly easily. This is in Canada, the hometown of Trish Stratus. There's no way she loses. And I think Nia Jax and Candice LeRae, I think they can afford to lose. Especially I think Candice LeRae will definitely take the pinfall here in this match. Probably from Tiffany Stratton, because she has, I mean, she's not that she's treading water, but she has just kind of been there. She's going to get Charlotte by Charlotte Flair at Mania. I think they're going to use this as a launching pad to launch off the Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax feud, which eventually will culminate at WrestleMania. I think they teased it at the Royal Rumble. I think that match is for sure happening at Mania. Trish Stratus, the hometown legend. No way she loses this match to Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae, unfortunately, probably going to eat the pin. Trish Stratus, Tiffany Stratton get the victory. If anybody disagrees with that take, let me know down in the comments section. From there, we got the unsanctioned match, blood feud between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And this is a match that's been brewing for kind of a while, ever since the package pile driver that Kevin Owens put onto Sami Zayn, maybe about a month ago now, right after the Royal Rumble. And I think so. Here's the issue, right? Like, both of these guys have lost so many matches over the last couple of months that they both kind of need to build momentum coming out the other side, especially going towards WrestleMania. And I think there's an easy way to protect one of these two guys. First, I think Sami Zayn is going to win the match. I don't think it's going to be clean. I think there's going to be shenanigans afoot. I do believe that Randy Orton makes his very much anticipated return during this match. He attacks Kevin Owens probably with an RKO out of absolutely nowhere. Sami Zayn swoops in, gets the victory. This kind of move also sets up a Royal WrestleMania match between Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. He could even potentially do a three-way with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton. at WrestleMania, because I'm not sure exactly what Sami Zayn is going to be doing at WrestleMania. If he's not involved in some sort of feud with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Randy Orton. Many people thought that this particular match was actually going to be held until WrestleMania, but that appears to be not the case. Obviously not the case because they're doing an Elimination Chamber. It makes a lot of sense. Both from Canada, doing it in both their hometowns, in front of their crowds. And this is a feud that's gone back. I mean, these two guys have been wrestling basically their entire careers, even when they started out in the indie scene. So for them to get this opportunity now to have on a big stage like Elimination Chamber, pretty cool, pretty awesome for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. But I think Sami Zayn will get over on Kevin Owens. I expect this to be an absolutely brutal match. I think there's going to be weapons involved. I think there's going to be blood. Look for these two guys to absolutely crush each other when this is all said and done. But when all said and done, I think Sami Zayn will have his hand raised. I think Randy Orton returns. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton probably have a feud heading towards WrestleMania. Not sure what you do with Sami Zayn post Elimination Chamber. To the men's Elimination Chamber. This is going to be an interesting one. I'm also not sure exactly what order these segments are going to be in. So I have the Cody Rhodes Rock thing after this, but I could see a scenario where the Cody Rhodes Rock segment happens before the men's Elimination Chamber. But I don't know. So I'm just going to guess right now that the men's Elimination Chamber happens before the Cody Rhodes Rock segment. If they've announced something between now and yesterday, I just straight up missed it. So that happens sometimes. But this Elimination Chamber match is absolutely loaded with talent. We got John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, all in the Elimination Chamber. I'm pretty sure they also haven't decided who's going to be the starting two guys in this match at the Elimination Chamber. I think just for funsies, I think it makes sense for John Cena and Logan Paul to start the match, because people have been talking about that John Cena-Logan Paul match for a long, long time. And if we get a little bit of a taste of here with John Cena and Logan Paul, I think that could be a lot of fun just for this particular match. But as when it comes to the winner, I am super torn because I think there are two guys that are the most obvious, and I think one of these two guys will for sure win the Elimination Chamber. It just makes too much sense for it not to happen. It's John Cena, and then it's CM Punk. And I'm going to go Cena. I think John Cena, this is his most obvious path to WrestleMania. I think they want to have him with a match at WrestleMania. I think him and Cody Rhodes, I think that would be really good numbers, especially if Cody kind of has a heel light persona going towards that match at WrestleMania. I think there are other ways that CM Punk could still get himself inserted into a main event. We talked about this a lot not on this show, but just in other shows. CM Punk always has that favor that Paul Heyman owes him to get himself inserted into either the Cody Rhodes John Cena match or the Gunther Jey Uso match. So there are ways that CM Punk can still be inserted in the main event of WrestleMania without having to win this match. I think it's more interesting if CM Punk continues to try to get into the main event and regularly fails. So I'm going to go John Cena as the winner of the men's Elimination Chamber. I think that he goes on to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. I think that is an interesting dynamic. John Cena going for the record. I don't think he beats Cody Rhodes. I think Cody Rhodes beats John Cena at WrestleMania. I'm a little bit confused about what the other four guys in this match do heading into WrestleMania if they do not win this particular match. Drew McIntyre, for sure. He's had a banger year with the feud with CM Punk and just banger match after banger match. And I don't know what he does post Elimination Chamber heading into WrestleMania if he doesn't win this match. I think Seth Rollins, I think that's still potential Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins match that they tease at the end of the Royal Rumble. I also think that there could be a triple threat between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, and that could main event night one of WrestleMania. They could even do those three guys, have that match, and whoever wins faces is inserted as a triple threat between Cena and Cody Rhodes, but I don't think they're going to do that. Logan Paul, I have no idea. You could stick him in the United States title feud, maybe, or you could have him face for Intercontinental title. I just don't know. And Damian Priest, it feels like the same scenario. Like, I think the Judgment Day stuff is way super over. I don't think you go back to that well. I'm not sure what Damian Priest does in WrestleMania if he doesn't win this match. But I don't book WWE. It's not my problem to figure that stuff out. They will, all four of those guys will have matches in Mania. They'll just have to find a way to cook up segments for them. I don't know. They'll come up with something. That's why at wrestling, you can come make up feuds as we go. But John Cena, I just think that this is his moment. He wins the Elimination Chamber. He goes on to WrestleMania. He faces Cody Rhodes. I just think it's too good of a narrative not to work out that way. So I'm going to go John Cena wins the men's Elimination Chamber. And then to the final segment, I think will be the final segment of the show. We got Cody Rhodes and The Rock, where The Rock is going to ask Cody Rhodes to basically sell his soul to become the people's champion, I guess. I got to be honest with you. I mean, the segments that the final boss segments that they've aired on SmackDown have been so unhinged. I literally have no idea what they're going to do with this, or even where it's going to be in the show. I'm currently predicting that it'll be the last thing we see in Elimination Chamber, and whatever it means to have your soul and sell it to The Rock and blah 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 blah. I think Cody Rhodes is going to turn it down, and what that repercussions of that means going forward, I'm not sure. Is The Rock now going to be inserted into that John Cena Cody Rhodes match, and if you don't want to be my champion, I'll be my own champion kind of thing. I don't know. I've been super intrigued by this final boss character. Because he's been super unhinged. He has that Cody's soul belt, and he busts out on SmackDown on yesterday. He's on his 5-minute blade. It was such an unhinged segment, and I have no idea what any of it means, and where we're gonna go from here. But I think Cody Rhodes is gonna take the Admiral path, and he think he's going to turn down The Rock's offer. That doesn't mean that somebody else could step in and take The Rock's offer, whether that be a CM Punk, whether that be Seth Rollins, whether that be Roman Reigns, right? And I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I cannot wait for this Elimination Chamber. Let me just get some straight thoughts out of the way here right quick. Just some things that are kind of just a couple of things that are just bothering me a little bit. The fact that neither tag team titles are on this card. The fact that neither Intercontinental title has been on. I can't even remember the last time that Braun Breaker even defended that title. The fact that neither United States titles are on the line here on this card, especially the two women's titles. I mean, you debut these two titles, and we've gone two back-to-back pay-per-views where they're not going to be defended and they're not going to be featured on a show. It's stupid. If you debut new titles, if you want people to care about them, you want them to feel like they're important, put them on TV. Have matches. Like the Ivy Nile, Lyra Valkyria match, that should be on this card. Why it's not is unbelievable to me. I don't get it. And I know the United States title, they're kind of building towards the wow, man, her name is escaping me right now. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. I know they're building that feud to be a match at WrestleMania, but you could have done something in the meantime. You bring out two brand new titles, and they're just not featured on TV enough for me. And that's just a small gripe. And the tag titles, I mean, I don't even know who has. I mean, yeah, well, obviously the War Machine has the Raw titles. You could have done American Elf or American Made versus War Machines on this card as well. There's only 4 matches on it. I know the Elimination Chambers will each be over an hour long, but those two titles, some other title shots should have been on this card. The women's titles, I know they just changed hands on Monday, so I'm not as mad about that. But I would have loved to have seen the women's United States title on this card. I would have loved to have seen the women's Intercontinental title on this card. This is to be second pay-per-view in a row where those two titles, after they've debuted, have not been defended on a pay-per-view. And I just think that's unacceptable. If you want them to feel important, put them on TV. But otherwise, I am super pumped for this pay-per-view. I cannot wait to see what happens with both the Elimination Chamber matches. I cannot wait to see what happens between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. That Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, by the way, match should be qualifier for match of the freaking night, as I expect them to be absolutely brutal to each other, just kick the ever loving crap out of each other in that particular match. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. I do appreciate it very much. This has been Prime Sports World On Point Wrestling Entertainment. This has been my 2025 Elimination Chamber preview. If you like what we're doing here at Prime Sports World, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. We're going to be back tomorrow with a double dose of the Prime. We're going to give you our Elimination Chamber recap sometime in the afternoon, and then at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be giving you our NFC North off-season preview. You don't want to miss any of that content. So yes, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast, and share some podcasts with your friends, man. If you like what we're doing here at Prime Sports World, just tell your friends about us. We put a lot of work into this show. We love to have some more guests, more viewers on this show. I am once again the host of Prime Sports World, David On Point Huffman, and I am signing out. This has been On Point Wrestling Entertainment, and we here at Prime Sports World, I know it's cold here in Fort Wayne after it was shorts weather yesterday. It is now 30 degrees at the high here in Fort Wayne. We are bringing the heat. And here is a quick message from our sponsor here at the Huddle Sports Network. We'll be back here tomorrow. You all have a good night. Enjoy the Elimination Chamber. It genuinely is one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time.
Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning into real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.